Fasting blood sugar this morning is 81, and I've already made my breakfast, and I'm going to go sit on the porch and eat it. It is peaches and cherries. Good morning, everybody. I have really been enjoying these porch chat plus what I eat in a day videos recently, so I'm hoping to do more of those. Let me know if you find those fun, find these fun. So I am gonna bring you along on my day today, but I wanted to chat about a couple of questions I got on my last one. So I'm thinking the format of these videos is going to be porch chat, address any questions that came through in recent videos, and then move on to what I eat in the day. So let me know if that sounds good to you. So I have two questions this morning. One is from Andor7854, says, I'm curious why you are weighing your food right now, genuinely wondering, no judgment. That is a very good question. And the reason for it is I find it very interesting, first of all, just to see how much I'm eating, and then also for the videos. So I don't weigh, like yesterday, I did not track my food. This kind of eating, I think I could be totally fine not tracking at all. But when I'm making a video, I know it's very interesting for people to see. I had the impression when I was more low carb, high fat, that fruitarians, vegans, high carb, low fat people just didn't eat very much. And the reason that, vegans get skinny is because they're just undernourished. They're not eating. Like, it's so hard to eat fruit in an abundance. You end up eating only 1,000 calories. I just had that impression. And in a recent video, I apologized for that. I apologize for that misinterpretation. Not that there aren't vegans that eat very little. I think that, I think there's people that eat very little on all diets. I've definitely seen that in the keto carnivore space as well. This tendency to, less is better, more fasting. And the same thing can happen in the vegan community. So that's not to say that all vegans are eating a ton, but I do see a lot of them eating a lot and pushing for not restricting your calories and eating in abundance. And so that is one thing that I have definitely learned in my foray into this world of high carb, low fat. So because I find it interesting to see how much I'm eating, to make sure I'm not eating too little, and to share with everybody watching. And also, as I'm adjusting to this, I feel like I kind of need to know what my macros are to know how to make adjustments. I am eating in a way that I have never really eaten before. So I had gotten to the point with, my ketovore diet where I didn't really need to track. I kind of knew how everything ended up at the end of the day. When I was eating 100 grams of carbs, 200 grams of carbs, I was like, yeah, I know about where I'm landing with all of my macros in the day. And every time I would track, it would kind of end up being what I expected it to be. And since I'm eating some brand new way, it's just good to settle in and kind of learn where the macros land. And then you get to the point of not having to track and still being able to kind of know where you're at. One of my favorite quotes from Dr. Jade Teta, who talks about metabolism and diet and stuff, he says, easy is earned. And we always are looking at people who seem to have it easy. They don't seem to struggle with their weight or don't struggle with their food intake and everything's perfect. Oftentimes, they have worked very hard to get to that point, and they earned their easy. And so I think tracking kind of comes into play there, where you can work hard on tracking for a little while until you get to the point of it being easy. So hope that answers the question. The second question is from Allison Jones. It says, do you think eating lower protein than what might be currently recommended in the nutrition space is important for the high carb diet to work? That's a really good question. And I first of all, I'm going to say I don't know, because I'm not a nutrition expert, and it's really hard to say. I do have some thoughts on it though, and I've listened to a lot of people, especially a lot of people in the high carb space now. And what I'm kind of leaning towards is that those higher amounts of protein may not be necessary if you're eating an abundance of carbohydrates. I have heard several experts say that Carbs are muscle sparing. So when you have an abundance of them, your body is not as likely to break down muscle. That's what I hear. And it does make sense compared to like a ketogenic type diet where you are relying on gluconeogenesis for the glucose that your body does need. And so if you don't eat the protein to be used for gluconeogenesis, your body's going to break down your own protein, your own muscle, in order to create the glucose that you need. So it makes sense that on a ketogenic diet, you would need a higher amount of protein to cover your protein and your glucose needs. That just makes sense. And so when you actually are giving your body the glucose that it needs for all the functions of glucose in the body, then the protein amount maybe could be a little bit lower and you could be totally fine. And there's just so much differing of opinions on the whole protein thing. There's the vegan side that say we get all the protein we need from the plant food and you can get away with, 30, 40, 50, 60 grams per day, no problem. And then other people that it's such a wide range. And so I really don't know what we really need. And I think it's probably going to be individualized based on your activity level and your lifestyle and all kinds of factors. And there are plenty of experts in like the vegan world and the diabetes world. And even I've heard Jay Feldman and Mike Fave talk about if you have insulin resistance, really high protein can make the problem worse. It can be part of the problem. Not that protein is a problem for a healthy person. A healthy person should be able to eat a lot of protein. And by a lot, I mean like 100 grams, 120 grams, 140 grams, somewhere in there. And it shouldn't cause insulin resistance, but maybe if you're dealing with insulin resistance, it can be helpful to reduce the protein. So the question about do you think eating lower protein is important or necessary for the high carb diet to work? Maybe if you are dealing with insulin resistance. So my hope is if I am able to do this and lose some weight and like maybe I do have some more insulin resistance that I need to work through. I don't know, because I do have weight on me. That's the only thing. I don't have any other symptoms of insulin resistance that I know of, except that I'm carrying excess weight that doesn't want to budge. And so maybe that's why I'm thinking maybe for me, lowering the fat and lowering the protein for a little while and allowing that insulin signal to just be super crystal clear to my cells, maybe that will help that weight to budge. And then once that happens, then move towards higher protein and a little bit more fat. That's just my thoughts though. I have no idea how it's going to work out. Okay, so I already had my peach bowl with cherries. That was delicious this morning. I have moved away from the smoothies. I just kind of got bored of them after an entire week. And so we've had tons of cherries in the kitchen, of course. And so I have been enjoying my little fruit bowls in the morning. And then I'm going to try to give you blood sugar throughout the day. Maybe, I don't know if I'll give it at 1 hour and 2 hours or just at 2 hours. It's interesting for me to see that periodically. And I know that a lot of you guys enjoy seeing that as well. And that's another one of those myth buster things that maybe I can put out there. Like, the vegans don't eat very much myth. And then also the myth that you cannot eat this way and keep your blood sugar in a healthy place. I thought that at a time. And so being able to show that you can eat an abundance of carbohydrates and have healthy blood sugar regulation, that would be a fun myth to bust as well. So I'm going to try to add that in here as well and bring you along in the kitchen with whatever food prep I'm going to do. I do need to do some food prep today, which I need to probably sit down and make a list, and we'll just hang out. It has been an hour since my breakfast, so we'll do a blood sugar prick. 97, an hour after about 1.5 peaches and 4 ounces of cherries. I just finished my 22-minute arm workout, and I think I'm going to do a really quick step workout just to get a few steps in, some cardio. and that'll be my workout for the morning. It is time for electrolytes. I'm feeling the need. So the lemonade salt, the special flavor of the summer, already sold out. Everyone has been loving it. So I'm hoping that they'll bring it back. I heard word that they're considering bringing it back as a permanent flavor. So got my fingers crossed for that. Until then, I'm gonna go back to a flavor combo that I absolutely love, but I haven't done it in a while because I've been drinking lemonade salt. And that flavor combo is orange salt plus raspberry salt. And it kind of tastes like a classic smoothie. Do you guys remember Odwalla juice from back in the day? I don't think they exist anymore, but anyways, it has this like Jamba Juice, Odwalla smoothie type flavor. The combo is really good. This is a 26 ounce bottle, so I don't think I need 2 packets, but I'm going to try to just do half of each. So Element is the sponsor of the video today, and their electrolytes have a science-backed ratio of electrolytes in each of these convenient little packets. It has 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. I'm going to save these so I can do this again next time. Let me give this a shake here. If you want to try out Element to see if it might be right for you, you can get a free sample pack of 4 of their most popular flavors, 2 sticks of each flavors, so 8 sticks total. You can get that just by using my link, drinkelement.com/indigo, drinklmnt.com/indigo. Click the link, place an order on the website for anything, and then you will automatically get that 8-stick sample pack added to your order at no charge. Thanks again to Element for sponsoring the video today. Element is a huge supporter of my channel, and I really appreciate it when you guys support the companies that do support my channel. So good. 2 hours post meal and about 15 minutes post exercise. So all those things have to be taken into consideration. 97, same as before. Got coffee with 1 tablespoon of half and half, and I'm about to do my red light therapy. Time for my second breakfast, we'll call it. I have a bowl of grapefruit with 2 teaspoons of sugar, or maybe I should say poison, on top. And then I have 2.5 ounces of dates. 1 hour post meal. $126. Now we're at 2 hours post meal. 93. Here's a quick peek of what I have going on in the kitchen. I'm doing some cherry preserves here. I'm gonna attempt to can those. And then over here I have cherry vinegar made with the pits. So these are 2 of the red cherry pits, and this one is the yellow Rainier cherry pits. So we'll see how that goes. I've never made fruit vinegar before, but it seems pretty simple and straightforward. Then also I did a bunch of drying, which, you know, it starts out as a bunch and then it ends up, you know, a very moderate amount of dried cherries. So these are the Bing cherries. I have a bunch of ripe peaches that really need to be eaten, so I am eating them. This is almost a pound of peaches. 2 hours from the peaches. $96. I am trying to use up a bunch of leftovers. I had some of these prepped veggies. There's just a little bit left from my prep last week, and I needed to get them used up. So I'm making a stir fry with some rice. I also have leftover rice. This is the last bit that I need to use up, which looks like just enough for me. And then for my protein, I'm gonna do 2 eggs, just scramble them up in the stir fry. For the sauce, I'm using this gluten-free Japanese barbecue sauce. It is delicious. There's my fried rice, and I'm gonna add some of this umami seasoning on top. And I'm having 4 figs as an after lunch dessert, I guess. 1 hour post egg fried rice and figs. 90. We are now 2 hours post meal. I just actually took a power nap. at 84. I needed one more protein meal this evening, so I took some of my leftover adzuki bean and beef curry. I showed that on a recent video. I had made it a while back and I froze single servings of it, and so I had another one of those servings that I needed to use up. So defrosted that and have it with some chickpea pasta. It's chickpea and red lentil pasta. Last thing I'm having for the evening is 6 ounces of apple juice. 1 hour after the pasta and curry. $91. I am just about to head to bed, but gotta get this last finger prick in. 2 hours after my last meal. $93.